Good morning, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give another update because I had my doctor's appointment yesterday and just want to do a little recap of how that went while it's still fresh in my memory. So I had my appointment yesterday and I met a new doctor. This time it was a male doctor. He was an older man. I actually liked him a lot better than the female that I had met the first time. This guy, this doctor was definitely more understanding, and he like got it. Like, he gets why I want to get the HSG test, and he agrees with it as well. He's supposedly been in the practice for 50 years already. So I definitely trust him, and I felt comfortable with him, even though he was a male doctor. But basically, I still don't know what this appointment was for. I definitely didn't sign any waivers or release forms or anything, so I don't know what the receptionist was talking about. But this was basically just I almost felt like I was a new patient meeting this new doctor, explaining our situation and telling him why I want the HSG test. But I definitely like this doctor better, and we're on board with the plan. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen anytime soon because obviously for this month, I would have had to have the HSG either today or tomorrow, the latest. And then he wasn't going to be in the office these next 2 days. So he asked, I don't know who else he asked. He asked somebody else in the office if they would be comfortable doing it. But they had only done the HSG procedure twice in their whole lifetime, so they weren't comfortable doing it. So we decided to wait. Now, the next step would have been in September to try to plan that ahead for September, but the dates just did not line up. The doctor has a planned vacation right on my week that I'm supposed to get the HSG test. So obviously he's not going to cancel a vacation for something like that. He made a little joke about that too. He definitely had a sense of humor. I can appreciate that. So the next month that he's available to do the HSG for me would be my cycle in October, because September is just not going to work out with his time off that he already has planned. This month didn't work because it was just a short window and he wasn't going to be in the office either. So October is the plan. I was instructed once again to call as soon as I get my period in October, and they're going to schedule that right away with the x-ray department. And at that point, because I asked him if I had to release or sign any paperwork, he said in October we'll do that, right, actually the day of the HSG. So again, I felt like yesterday it wasn't a wasted appointment because I got to meet this new doctor and he seems more on board with the plan. But I didn't do anything yesterday besides talk to the doctor. No signing of anything. We did sign a release form to get my records from Florida because he wanted my records to be the records from when they did the Tubal ligation in 2013. He wanted to see those, as well as records of the last 2 miscarriages that I have, because all of those happened in Florida, so they don't have any history of that in their books, so they want to have that. So I signed those forms yesterday for them to get those. So I'm interested, actually. Hopefully they put the Tubal ligation records in my portal so I can read them, because I'm curious to read through those notes. A lot of people actually find out a lot about their Tubal ligation surgery through those notes, things that the doctors didn't tell them, but they find them in the history of those notes. So that would be interesting if I'm able to see that. But the plan is for October. I am supposed to get the HSG test if all goes well. We're going to get that done and then basically go from there. He's going to word it also in a way that my insurance should cover the HSG procedure, because it's getting done basically to see what went wrong with my tubal ligation, not really for fertility reasons. He did say that my insurance won't cover anything to do with fertility, so he's going to try to help us out the best he can by wording it in a way that they should cover it. And then moving forward from there, he said fertility treatments or anything like that won't be covered. He kind of asked us what is it that we want in the future, but I told him that we were still unclear. We don't know if we want to try after this procedure and finding out the news. We don't sure if we would want to just close up permanently, and in that case my husband would get a vasectomy. And then he also offered us birth control for the meantime, if I want to prevent pregnancy, but I denied that. Also, I just told him that we weren't really trying, but we also weren't preventing. So he said in the case that I did end up pregnant before my HSG procedure, the plan for that is to come in super early for blood work and a very early ultrasound just to make sure that it's in the correct spot. So I also like that he's kind of thinking ahead in case that does happen, because it could very well happen. He kind of has a plan set for that if that were to happen. So that is my update. The appointment was pretty much just chatting with this new doctor, and the one that seems like is going to be taking care of me from now on as well. At least that's what it seems like, because I didn't hear nothing about the other lady, and I felt like the other appointment with the other lady was useless because I had to basically go in again yesterday and talk to a whole brand new doctor and list out everything, my concerns, and why I wanted the procedure done. But the good news is that this doctor seems a little bit more professional and more understanding, and he was super friendly, and I like him a lot better than her. So October seems to be the month that this is going to happen. We don't know if I'm going to end up pregnant before then. I'm definitely going to be testing for this cycle, and we will see from there what happens. Obviously, if I do end up seeing positive lines and being pregnant, I have to go back to the doctor as soon as possible. But if not, then the plan is, if I don't end up pregnant in October, I'm going to be getting the HSG test. He did also explain to me something new that I learned. The reason that the HSG test has to be like during that small window, I forgot what days it was, but you can Google it as well. Well, obviously it can't be while you're on your period, because you are releasing the uterus lining and all of the blood. But you also can't do it as you're ovulating or like during those days. When there's a chance of pregnancy, I already knew that, but I didn't know that when your uterus lining thickens, that can actually disrupt the dye from going freely through and being able to see if it goes through the fallopian tubes or not, because the uterine lining thickens so much during the ovulation or like a little bit after ovulation. So that's why it has to be at a certain time in your cycle after your period, but before you gear up for ovulation. So for this month, for me, it would have literally just been today or tomorrow. So that didn't work out. So I was hoping to get it at least done in September, but I'm okay with the decision to wait until October. That way he can do it and he's comfortable with doing that procedure, and I don't have to just push somebody that doesn't want to do it. So that's the plan, and that's my update for now. I will see you guys later on in my cycle. I have not ovulated yet, obviously, so when it becomes testing time, I will get back on here and start pregnancy testing with you guys and see what happens. We never know why this delay is happening. Maybe I am meant to get pregnant before this HSG test, or it's just how it goes. It's just a coincidence, but we do have a chance of conceiving at any point, and since we're not preventing, I'm going to continue testing when possible and share the results with you. So I will see you guys in the next set of videos.